Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Walking the Blunt Blade. I'm Oliver. This morning, I want to simply say stop the bombings. I watch a lot of Piers Morgan, Ben Shapiro, and I actually don't mind old Ben. I just think he's, obviously very passionately Jewish. And I've heard the question lots, how do we not over retaliate? This is not rocket science, people. Stop the bombings. Over retaliation is unacceptable. Every country has the right to defend itself against invasion and terrorism. Wholeheartedly agree. But when it comes to retaliation, and I said this with 9/11, every country must hand me an application in triplicate. People become far too emotional, and this is how so many innocent lives die. Bombs and missiles kill indiscriminately. This is not difficult to comprehend. Unfortunately, some of the footage I'm going to show you comes from my home movies, which were filmed from, a DVD. Dresden was one of the most dreadful bombings in the world, Germany, World War II, where an entire city was pretty much leveled. I think they had one church that stood afterwards. Hanover was pretty much the same, absolutely and completely annihilated. This was done thanks to, Great Britain and the Americans. That's overreaction. That's pure genocide. There was no need for it. And a lot of the military bases and bunkers weren't even touched. They couldn't be touched. So leveling a city in claims of trying to destroy something doesn't make sense. Of course, we can only see what's happening in Gaza and retaliation to Japan and Pearl Harbor as overreactions and genocidal. And as a side note, in regards to people's pathetic arguments in regards to Hamas and what's happening in Israel at the moment, everyone has underground systems and bunkers. And are you kidding me? The Parliament House here in the capital of Australia has tunnels that go everywhere. The White House does too. This is not new science. Yeah, stop bombing. Get your ground troops in. That's what they get paid for. It's pure hatred and trying to wipe out a species of people. Not trying to teach them a lesson. What the hell do we have ground troops for? Send in the ground troops. I've been saying this for years. This is what sucks about war. This is why we have ground troops, isn't it? So we don't have to kill innocent people by the hundreds and thousands. Hiroshima, again, overreaction by America, or Japan, by having 2 nuclear bombs pretty much level cities and have devastating effects for years on end afterwards. Unacceptable. And America should have been nuked as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to add some before and after pictures of Gaza at the moment. And Israel hasn't finished with this shit. Unacceptable. Send the ground troops in. Complete and utter hatred of one another. It's stupid. It's insane. What's another good example? Iraq. I'm going to put a picture of Iraq in there, before and after. Just a picture. I think we all get the message. This is a man who we assumed, had weapons of mass destruction. The moment we started leveling their cities indiscriminately, you would think it was obvious he had no weapons of mass destruction, because if it was me, I would have been the first to fire them back. We need to stop bombing. This is how we stop genocidal behaviors. Are we clear? It's unacceptable. What's happening in Israel is highly and totally unacceptable. What's happened in retaliation in past history is totally and utterly unacceptable. And if the world has a problem with that, if I've spoken out of turn, well, welcome to Walking the Blunt Blade. You're welcome on board. Cheers, everyone.